All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over. As you guys can see by my background, I am not at home. Uh, and every now and then you might hear some noise. It's from an airplane. I'll just say that. I'm gonna try my best to trim it out if I can. But this brother's name right here. Got this video here. Fonzworth Bentley leaks Kim Porter's final message. He witnessed everything. That right there is what the title of the video says. These are not my words. These are the title of the videos. Now look, I will say, you know this brother, they were calling him Umbrella Man and all that. He's walking around with them suits on and that umbrella right next to Diddy. I don't know what this brother know, but he was close. He was extremely close. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into
it. And so he walked straight to my table. I stood up and it was like a little stare down match on some
wow.
And I won. And then he just pointed to the old girl like, yo, get this dude. It was the 2 ways then. Remember the 2 ways? Anybody with me? 2 ways.
Yeah, I remember
those.
Stay with me.
The phone.
He's like, yo, it was, get this dude my 2-way number. Well, I didn't call him the next day because I'm busy.
Yeah, what a game.
Well, I wasn't busy. But you don't know. Don't nobody know. You don't know. You know. So, long story short, I remember, I was like, I waited. Next thing you know, Club New York happened. I'm like, dang, I done waited too late to hit.
Y'all, we knew that Diddy's former assistants were going to bring the T with a capital T at Diddy's trial. But there's one particular former assistant we are all curious about, and I personally like to call him the wild card. Yep, Fonzworth Bentley, the guy that Diddy made follow him everywhere holding a giant umbrella.
All the stuff that you hear about Puff, and everybody got a story.
Yeah.
But it ain't official until you see the guy with the umbrella.
I don't know, pardon me, I don't know where, this video is finna take us, but from everything that everybody has testified as far as what Diddy allegedly did to them physically, I'm just wondering, has anything ever happened to him? Because like the whole Cassie situation, I was saying like, dang, I remember now, if you look back, it was times where you were like, damn, where's Cassie at? And she was recovering. Now we know.
Fonzworth Bentley.
Fonzworth.
I know Fonzworth.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, everybody else can say what they want. If Fonzworth come walking in to court with the umbrella and he's twirling it, and whatever comes out of his mouth,
yeah,
you know it's a true story.
Hey.
If there is anybody who witnessed most of the things that happened with Diddy, including what possibly happened to Kim Porter, it was Mr. Bentley. And if word on the street is anything to go by, he is already singing like a bird while twirling his umbrella.
Y'all don't understand. Look at Bentley and all these people. Come on, man. Now that we know the monster, man, you carry the man umbrella. He was the man. I watched this man disrespect you every chance he got. That's why I got so much respect for Gene. Because a lot of them niggas is scared to do what Gene doing.
But here's a plot twist. Bentley was mentioned in a recent lawsuit as one of the people who SA-rolled with Diddy. So what role exactly was he playing with Diddy? Accomplice? Loves? That's exactly what we are going to try and figure out. Okay, so far, a few of...
Wow, so gonna have to trim that out, but I think I forgot about that one. They're saying that Fonzworth Bentley was mentioned in a lawsuit with Diddy for allegedly doing something to someone not grown. I'll just say that.
Diddy's former personal assistants have been called to testify by prosecutors, and they told the jury that working as Diddy's PA meant turning a blind eye to harrowing things while meticulously managing every detail of his life, including making sure his toiletries all faced the same way and keeping his hotel suite stocked with applesauce, Jell-O, and Fiji water. They also said that even on good days, the pay was low, the days were long, and the work week could stretch 100 hours long. But on the worst days, they testified that they were drawn into a world of chaos and illegality. One former PA, David James, recounted chauffeuring Diddy to a narrowly averted fight using firearms with his rival record executive Suge Knight. James said he realized he might that night at the wheel of his boss's car in the parking lot of an all-night Los Angeles diner. Another assistant remembered the time in 2015 when he heard Diddy's longtime girlfriend Cassie Ventura screaming in the bedroom of Diddy's private jet, and all he could hear was glass shuttering. In addition, Capricorn Clark also testified during the trial that in 2011, she was forced against her will to travel with Diddy to Kid Cudi's home, where Diddy entered the residence with a security guard before fleeing the scene. But you know whose account people really want to hear? Bentley's account, because he was the one who visibly went through a lot when he was Diddy's PA.
This is a different thing coming from Atlanta and just being, just a regular humble guy. So I was like, okay, I get it. And then I started to realize that I know a lot of these guys, but they don't know who I am and they don't know what I do. I could be anything.
I'm anybody.
A designer or what, a philosopher. I'm walking around with bow ties.
The feds.
The feds. Like, I'm anything, like you said.
But let's not forget that Bentley was also mentioned in a lawsuit where one Randy Pitman accused him and Diddy of SA. According to court documents, the plaintiff was working with a local talent agency and alleges that he was approached by Bentley regarding potential opportunities with the Sean John fashion brand, which was founded by Diddy in 1998. The plaintiff claims that he was led to believe that he would be helping identify talent for upcoming campaigns and events related to the brand. As part of the engagement, he says he was encouraged to bring individuals, including two not yet of age, to an event he believed was related to fashion or entertainment. What followed, the lawsuit claims, was a series of events that the plaintiff alleges led to exploitation, trauma, and long-lasting emotional distress. Randy claims that allegedly Diddy and Fonzworth provided him and the two young girls. Damn! So was Bentley merely one of the people Diddy took advantage of, or was he intentionally working closely with Diddy? Could this be the real reason why he disappeared? Guys, this plot just continues to get thicker and thicker. Anywho, just for a bit of background about their relationship, Diddy first crossed paths with Bentley at a soul food joint right in the midst of his trial in 1999, and Bentley even said that they had a staring contest. According to what Bentley said, this was around the time when Diddy decided to change his name from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy because he needed a clean slate after his 1999 legal issues. Apparently, Bentley had taken it upon himself to send Diddy inspirational Bible verses while he dealt with the infamous charges. Then a few months after Diddy's legal triumph, Bentley, who was managing a restaurant at 11 Madison Park at the time, hit Diddy with the message, "Please don't make me go back to my hater boss." Based on what he said, shortly after that daring message, Diddy recruited Bentley as his personal assistant and valet. And Bentley later shared with the New York Times how that felt for him, saying, "I remember the day exactly. It's going to be in the movie about my life." Sean waved his hand in my face and said, "Your life has just changed. Are you ready?" Then he was photographed in St. Tropez with Diddy, and he became his umbrella-carrying man, and he also doubled as other things in Diddy's life, including, allegedly, being Diddy's boy toy. When I tell you that Bentley followed Diddy everywhere, I mean exactly that.
Yeah, those rumors were strong back in the day. Yeah, man, I keep forgetting that Diddy had beat that case, or allegedly Shine took the fall for it. Or no, Shine came out and said. But look, I don't know yet if he's been subpoenaed. I don't know, but I'm just thinking like coming into next week, because today is Saturday for me. So coming into next week, what is this going to look like with all these people who could potentially be testifying? And what is the fallout going to be on Mia supposedly being exposed, like them finding out who she is? Is that going to deter people away from testifying, man? It's a lot. It's a lot to follow, to break down with this, man. Feel like it's so many people involved who had witnessed something and didn't do anything or say nothing.
and he was seemingly the one person Diddy trusted the most. Then all of a sudden the guy just disappeared. And this was right after rumors started making rounds claiming that Diddy was forcing Bentley to be his boyfriend as well. Well, before Bentley disappeared, he actually tried to make a name for himself. Like in the 2000s, he made an appearance on the band's 2002 album, Too Hot for TV. And the following year, he was featured on the Good Day, Good Sir skit on Outkast's speaker box, The Love Below. And then in 2004, he made a cameo in the music video of Kanye's The New Workout Plan. Fonz also worked as a songwriter, and he's credited on multiple tracks on Kanye's album Yeezus. In 2008, he was also featured in the Yes We Can music video for Barack Obama's presidential campaign. And in addition to all this, Fonz also graced the silver screen with small yet impactful roles in films like Honey, Fat Albert, and Think Like a Man Too. In fact, by the mid-2010s, Fonz had already carved a name for himself as a songwriter, producer, actor, businessman, and so forth. Like, it was really looking like things were working out for him, until he sort of just disappeared from the industry. He moved to Atlanta, got married, and even welcomed 2 kids. But as much as he now portrays himself as a family man, people still say that he went through some things when he was working as Diddy's assistant, and they can't wait for him to take the stand like the other assistants. Well, what the former assistants went through is actually not quite surprising at this point. I mean, in Cassie's lawsuit, she said that Diddy's freak-offs often involved costumes like masquerade masks and lingerie, and they continued for years, taking place at high-end hotels across the United States and in Diddy's homes. Guess who were the people responsible for organizing these parties and making sure everything was set? Yep, the assistants. In fact, these assistants were the ones tasked with the responsibility of taking gifts to Cassie after an incident, and Cassie even said in the lawsuit that the assistants were also the ones who would help to set up the freak-offs where everything took place, including by setting up the hotel suites with baby oil, lighting, and other things. Cassie even said in her lawsuit that after one of the incidents, Diddy's head of security and assistant saw her, and they both began to cry. Then there's Lil Rod, who also said in his lawsuit that Christina Karam required all employees, from the assistants, the butler, the chef, to the housekeepers, to walk around with a pouch or fanny pack filled with...
I just, realized, like, I'm looking at the title of the video that I read in the beginning. I don't know if I'm going to make it the title of the video, but they ain't said nothing about Kim. But again, man, I feel like it's all going to come out. That's the only thing with sometimes when you watch these videos, like, I know they're going to talk about stuff that where it seems like they might be reaching a little bit, but then also they be bringing up stuff that I didn't know. So I do be informing myself on on certain situations, but at the same time, it can be a little clickbaitish, but it's all good.
Substances, because it was important for her to have Diddy's choice of whatever he was using immediately ready when he asked for it. I can also tell you for a fact that the former assistants did go through the most based on Capricorn Clark's account. Allegedly, Diddy once roughed her up because she didn't tell him about Cassie's fling with Kid Cudi, and it was an Interscope person that paid her to settle so Diddy wouldn't go to jail.
He had an assistant by the name of Capricorn.
Cassie filed her lawsuit, a company like they will skin you from Jay-Z's. Might delete later, but I'ma just sit this because they know Bentley is going wild. Let me know if you think Bentley is innocent or guilty.
Yeah, he did have that lawsuit. I don't know what's gonna come of that. He was allegedly, mentioned in the lawsuit. I don't know if anything is going to happen or if happened with that. But look, when you think about all the people in Diddy's life, just really, if you can close your eyes and really think back to all the people that you've seen next to Diddy, it seemed like at one point this dude did not ever leave his side. Of course, we're only seeing this stuff from TV, but man, it seemed like he was right there next to Diddy all the time. You just seen that umbrella. So I feel like he gotta know something, man. How damaging, I don't know, but he gotta know something, It's very scary though, because they could present a lot of evidence and this brother could be found guilty and then probably get pardoned. We'll see. But comment below if you guys think Fonzworth Bentley knows something. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.